Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to Minute on the Mountain. It's about 9 a.m. Did not get a really early start this morning. We're on the other side of Bear Lake getting a shed hunt in. Birds are singing. These kind of faux Indian paintbrush are out. These aren't Indian paintbrush. I can't remember what these are. They're similar, but they're not the same thing. I went out for a little shed hunt yesterday, about 4 hours in the late afternoon and evening. It was a fiasco. Forgot my GoPro. I took a few shots with my phone. Didn't find anything. Basically spent all 4 hours hiking in oak brush up to my shoulders and sometimes over my head. So it was miserable. So probably a good thing I didn't have the camera. Hopefully we can get on a few today. Thanks for coming along. I made my first run of this canyon about 35 minutes into the hike. This is a canyon that back in 2017, when we had a big winter and a shed closure, kind of like this year, I found 10 sheds in this little canyon that year, and like 4 were browns. So hopefully it produces. I don't know if anybody's been back in here yet this year or not. I try to hit this little canyon every year, and I think I have found sheds here every year. That first year was the best. So I was down at the bottom, well, not the very bottom, but about 25 to 30 yards lower than I am now. So now I've worked my way up, and I'm gonna just traverse this whole thing back to the other end of it. And when I get there, I'm gonna bump up about 25 yards and come back. It'll probably take me 4 or 5 loops like that to kind of get up on the top. And I'm going to zigzag on the top for a while. Perfect day for shed hunting. There's a little breeze. It's overcast, so it's not too hot yet. It's humid. Well, humid for Utah standards anyway. So I'm sweating pretty good already. I need to make sure to drink plenty of water and get some salt tablets in me. So it's an antler, but not a shed. Got a little deadhead up here. Dang it, I thought we found a shed. Looks like a little forkhorn buck. And in Utah, you're not allowed to pick up the deadheads. You got to call them in. And he's not big enough to call in and worry about. So. Oh, he dropped one though. So there's a little brownie laying around here somewhere that he dropped before he got eaten. Or before winter kill, I would imagine. I guess maybe it's winter kill, but I would have thought he would have dropped before the winter got too severe this year. I don't know. So, but we'll keep our eyes peeled. So I haven't found anything yet. And I'm about 75% of the way done with this particular canyon. Maybe not quite that much, but probably 2/3. And I don't think I've ever been over here and really hit this hard that I didn't find at least one. So hopefully we can at least find that little guy if it's laying around here somewhere. Made it up to the very top of the ridge. No sheds, which is a little disappointing and surprising. Again, I don't think I've ever worked that whole canyon like that without finding at least one. There's more elk sign up here than usual. I mean, this is just a little bit here, but there was a lot on the hillside. You see that mixed in with some deer poop too. But so now I'm trying to decide what to do. My original plan was if I found at least one down here in this canyon, I was going to go to a big sage flat that's about 5 miles east of here that I've wanted to hike for a while. I've briefly hiked it once, but didn't really cover that much ground. I know for a fact that some elk wintered there. In fact, I know that even 2 weeks ago there was still some elk hanging out over there. But now I'm not sure. Since I haven't found anything, I hate to kind of go to a new area. But I think that's probably still what I'll do. I'm going to work this top back and forth and zigzag it, and then drop down on the other side and then work my way back towards the van. Probably stop and get a snack real quick, some beef jerky and some water. I think we just found the base of a shed. This thing's as old as the one I left on the mountain the other day. What is it with me finding ones that are 30 years old? Let me skirt through these cedars up here. You still see there's elk poop up here everywhere, so maybe we'll get lucky and stumble into an elk shed. But where'd you go? Where'd that little base go? There it is. Yep, definitely the base of a shed. There's the burr on it. So we're not going to take that with us. You know, leave that on the mountain. But it is a shed. At least we didn't get skunked. Too bad it's not in a new county though. Just working this little draw. And it's funny, like 30 seconds ago, even though it's been a long hike, I already haven't found anything. I was like, you know, it can change in 30 seconds. Just keep grinding, just keep looking. And look what's right down there. 3-point. Whoa! It's chalky. That's okay. I don't care. We will take this one even though it's chalky. All right. Thank you, Lord, for helping us to find that. That face across the canyon is the one that we just typewritered back and forth, back and forth. Started at the bottom, worked all the way up, and then gridded the top. And then I came down off this side, down into the bottom, and now I'm back all the way up on the opposite ridge. Working these cedars up here, and kind of gradually working my way back to the van, and we are going to go hit that big sage flat. Since I found at least that one 3-point, we didn't get skunked over here. Made it to our new location. I enjoyed the spoils of a double bacon cheeseburger with an onion ring and barbecue sauce on it. And it was pretty tasty. As you can see, this is just rolling sage for as far as you can see. I'm in BLM, but it borders some walk-in access area. I do have a walk-in authorization number, but I didn't check if this one is open to shed hunting / hiking. Some of them are only open for certain seasons. So since I didn't check, I don't want to get on anybody's bad side. I'm just going to hike this fence line where it borders the BLM. I like to hunt shed hunt fence lines anyway, because often when the deer land, that impact will knock an antler off. So we're just going to work this shed line down out into this valley. I can see a little clump of aspen trees about 2 hills away. I'll probably hike to at least that, and then kind of reevaluate from there and see what we want to do. No sheds. I just wanted to show you that elk track, because when I look at this country, I'm like, no way there's elk here. But I know there are. When I came over here shed hunting the other night and I camped the night before, I went for just a real brief hike and I saw an elk on my hike. And so anyway, that's how I came out here. I just wanted to try this. You can hear the highway behind me. I've gotten back close to the highway. But I'm about to wrap this up. Some more tracks. I won't be out here much longer. Starting to get breezy. Got some weather moving in. I think this week we're supposed to have rain several of the days. So see, there's, you know, droppings every now and then, but just very, very little sign. So I'd probably have maybe 45 minutes to an hour left, and then I'll be back at the van. So it looks like a pretty slow day today. Just the 2 finds and only one that was worth bringing off the mountain. But that's better than no finds. And I got a lot of good exercise. It'll probably be over 10 miles today. Well, I'm sure it'll be over 10 because I've covered a lot of ground out here because it's not as steep. And just a chance to be out. Just kind of had a lot of time to pray and just to reflect on God's goodness and His mercy to me. So. A little slower day than usual for the other side of Bear Lake, but that's okay. We still had a good time. Thanks for coming along. Let's wrap this up with the channel shout out and the minute on the mountain. The channel I want to shout out tonight is Saskatchewan Fisher. As you can probably guess, does quite a few fishing videos. He also does some shed hunting videos, and man, he has found some monster sheds. So I'm newer to his channel. I think when I first started YouTube, I subbed, and then the way YouTube sometimes does, I think I lost my subscription to his channel for a while. Anyway, recently subbed again, and have been enjoying his content. He just put out a video on kind of, in his opinion, the best setup for trout fishing on a stream. And I think you'll like his channel. He's got a lot of subscribers already. He's way bigger than me. He's got almost 10,000 subscribers. So it'd be cool to help him hit 10,000. So go check him out if you like his content. Hit that subscribe button for him. Tell him Minute on the Mountain sent you. Again, that's Saskatchewan Fisher. I'll put a link in the description. For the Minute on the Mountain, we're up to the book of Zephaniah. Now, Zephaniah 1 and 2, God talks about the day of wrath, the day of the Lord, and all this judgment that's going to come. And then in Zephaniah 3, he speaks specifically to Jerusalem. I'm going to pick it up in verse 7. He says, "Of Jerusalem I thought, surely you will fear me and accept correction. Then her place of refuge would not be destroyed, nor all my punishments come upon her. But they were still eager to act corruptly in all they did. Therefore wait for me, declares the Lord, for the day I will stand up to testify. I have decided to assemble the nations, to gather the kingdoms, and to pour out my wrath on them, all my fierce anger." God's desire is that Jerusalem would have repented, that they would come to him. But eventually he's going to pour out his judgment. You see that throughout Old and New Testaments. It's interesting to me, sometimes people say, well, the God of the Old Testament is the angry God, and the God of the New Testament is the loving God. God is equally just and equally merciful in both Old and New Testaments. I mean, in the Old Testament, we certainly see his judgment, but we also see mercy. I mean, he gave the Israelites so many second chances. He saves Rahab, from destruction. There's just so many examples in the Old Testament of God's mercy. And in the New Testament, yes, there's a ton of mercy and grace, obviously, that Jesus Christ teaches and professes. But there's judgment in the New Testament too. I mean, have you read Revelation or the story of Ananias and Sapphira? Like, God is, again, equally just, equally merciful. We can't separate those attributes from him. So he's long-suffering, he's patient. I hope you wouldn't take advantage of that in the sense that you wouldn't just, keep on rebelling, kind of keep on turning away from him, because eventually he will bring forth his justice. So that's the Minute on the Mountain, Zephaniah chapter 3. Thanks so much for coming along, guys. God bless you. We'll see you the next time we're out on the mountain.